What unfolded inside the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals was supposed to be a routine legal proceeding. Instead, it quickly became one of the most damaging public moments Meghan Markle's legal operation has faced since stepping away from royal life.
Meeting Harry, being with Harry, marrying Harry, has improved your sister's behaviour, or do you think it's made it worse, the whole situation?
By the time Chief Judge William Pryor finished questioning Meghan's attorneys, the outcome was clear to many in the courtroom. Something had gone very wrong. From the opening exchanges, judges appeared unconvinced by the defense strategy being presented.
He has personality profile that perfectly enables someone who is an alleged narcissist.
Meghan's legal team attempted to frame the appeal as a simple matter of protected opinion and procedural dismissal. But the panel wasn't interested in surface-level explanations. They wanted answers to one fundamental question. Did Meghan's public statements carry factual implications that could reasonably harm Samantha Markle? The problem for Meghan's attorneys was that they never fully answered it.
She's capable of empathy, remorse, or shame. I don't think she could feel enough to apologize.
As the hearing progressed, Judge Pryor grew increasingly direct. When he described Meghan's arguments as beside the point, legal observers immediately recognized the severity of the remark. In appellate court, that phrase is not casual criticism. It signals that the judges believe the defense has misunderstood the legal issue entirely. That moment shifted the tone of the room. Court reporters noted visible discomfort from Meghan's legal team as questioning intensified. The judges repeatedly returned to the same issue. If Meghan's statements were only opinions, why did they portray Samantha Markle as dishonest in a way that allegedly triggered real-world consequences? Each attempt to pivot away from that question only seemed to deepen the panel's skepticism. Meanwhile, Samantha Markle's attorney, Peter Tickton, waited patiently. When his turn came, he delivered an argument that many legal analysts later described as devastating in its simplicity. Instead of countering every legal theory Meghan's team raised, Tickton attacked the structure of the defense itself. He called it a smorgasbord. According to Tickton, Meghan's attorneys had thrown every possible defense at the court: opinion privilege, jurisdictional claims, procedural dismissals, without ever addressing the substance of Samantha's allegations. The metaphor landed hard. Judges appeared receptive, and observers say it reframed the case instantly. This was no longer about whether Samantha's lawsuit was frivolous. It was about whether Meghan's team was avoiding the core issue because they couldn't confront it directly. Then came the moment that stunned even seasoned courtroom watchers. Under questioning, Meghan's attorneys admitted they had failed to fully engage with key aspects of Samantha Markle's claims in their motion to dismiss. These weren't minor omissions. They were foundational issues that go to the heart of the case. In appellate proceedings, such admissions are rare and dangerous. Sources inside the courtroom described a palpable shift as the judges absorbed what they were hearing. These were not inexperienced lawyers. They were elite, high-profile attorneys representing one of the most famous figures in the world. And yet, they were conceding procedural oversights that should never occur at this level. Legal experts later called it a catastrophic misstep. Tickton wasted no time capitalizing on the opening. Every admission from Meghan's team became evidence that the original dismissal may have been flawed. Each concession strengthened the argument that Samantha's claims deserved full consideration rather than summary rejection. The broader context of the case only magnified the damage. At the center of Samantha Markle's appeal are allegations that Meghan used her immense global platform, including the Oprah Winfrey interview and the Netflix series, to paint her half-sister as a spreader of misinformation. Samantha's legal team argues these portrayals went beyond personal storytelling and crossed into factual character attacks. According to court filings, Samantha began receiving serious threats following Meghan's public statements. These were not limited to online insults. Some were specific enough to require law enforcement involvement. Samantha's attorneys argue the timing is critical. The threats followed Meghan's high-profile media appearances. That detail fundamentally changes the case. When Meghan told Oprah she grew up as an only child, Samantha's legal team argues the statement wasn't merely emotional truth. They claim it erased Samantha's existence and framed her as an outsider with no legitimate connection. The Netflix series allegedly reinforced this portrayal, depicting Samantha as opportunistic and dishonest. Judges appeared deeply interested in whether these statements implied false facts rather than protected opinion. Meghan's legal team struggled to draw a convincing line between personal narrative and factual implication. Even observers who believe the case will ultimately be dismissed acknowledge the damage done in that courtroom. Royal commentators describe this hearing as a crack in Meghan's carefully maintained image of control and competence. For years, she has positioned herself as strategic, prepared, and always one step ahead. Watching her legal team falter under basic procedural questioning undermines that perception. The fallout extends beyond legal circles. Industry insiders suggest potential business partners are reassessing risk. When legal vulnerability becomes public, it changes how power is perceived. Meghan's brand depends heavily on authority and credibility, and courtroom admissions of oversight do not reinforce either. The implications for Prince Harry are unavoidable. Their public identities and ventures are deeply intertwined. Legal embarrassment for one inevitably affects the other. Sources suggest this hearing complicates Harry's ongoing efforts to rebuild trust with the British public and redefine his post-royal role. Behind the scenes, Meghan's team is reportedly bracing for the court's written opinion. If Judge Pryor's sharp criticism appears in that ruling, it becomes permanent. Written opinions don't fade. They get cited, future litigants will read them, future judges will reference them. And perhaps most importantly, future opponents will study this hearing as proof that Meghan Markle is not legally untouchable. Whether Samantha Markle ultimately wins or loses, her legal team has already achieved something significant. They exposed vulnerabilities. They forced damaging admissions onto the public record. And they changed the narrative. This was not just an appellate hearing. It was a warning shot, and once fired, it can't be taken back.